Hello folks, Stone Dog here, and I'm getting a little bit tired about the creationist always blabbing on and on about the second law of thermodynamics and it proves that we can't exist without God. And let me go ahead and read from Wikipedia, and I'll provide the link for easy access to this so you can read it too. The second law of thermodynamics is an expression of the universal law of increasing entropy. In simplest terms, it is an expression of the fact that over time, differences in temperature, pressure, and density tend to even out in a physical system that is isolated from the outside world. Entropy is a measure of how far along this evening out process has progressed. The most common incantation of the second law of thermodynamics is essentially due to Rudolf Clausius. The entropy of an isolated system not in equilibrium will tend to increase over time, approaching a maximum value at equilibrium. Another statement by him says, heat cannot itself pass from a colder to a hotter body. An equivalent statement by Lord Kelvin is, a transformation whose only final result is to convert heat extracted from a source at a constant temperature into work is impossible. The second law is only appreciable to macroscopic systems. The second law is actually a statement about the probable behavior of an isolated system. As larger and larger systems are considered, the probability of second law being practically true becomes more and more certain. For an isolated system with a mass more than a few picograms, the second law is true within a few parts in a million. Now, what this is essentially saying is that over time, you lose heat to the outside environment that's colder. That's what basically happens when you drop a piece of ice in a glass. The heat's moving into the ice, and the ice is getting hotter, but the surrounding liquid is getting colder, and by the time that ice melts, basically you have reached maximum entropy in that glass. It's equal. The ice and the water are now the same temperature, because obviously there's no more ice in there, but it's all the same temperature in that glass now. But notice that if you want to, you can change the heat in that glass by putting it in a microwave and adding heat to the system forcibly. Well, this is exactly what happens in the human body. We're constantly consuming fuel in the form of calories, which we burn to continually give heat to us so that we don't die of the second law of thermodynamics, which eventually we do anyway. We do succumb to it. The systems can't completely keep up, and so we die. But that being said, obviously the second law does not affect us so much that we can't live at all. Because obviously we're alive. I'm sitting here alive talking to you. The truth is the entire universe, considered as an isolated system, is definitely working towards becoming absolute zero, which will be total death of this universe. Nothing will be able to live in this universe once the entire universe has reached absolute zero, which for all apparently it is. The universe is expanding and getting colder as we speak, and in billions of years there will be no more heat left in this universe, no more transfer of heat. It will have reached total equilibrium. But on the smaller scale of human life, the reason we don't instantaneously die from loss of heat is because we're consuming fuel, and we're burning that fuel constantly to stay alive. This is basically what this is saying, is the second law isn't really that useful when considering whether life can exist, because obviously life can exist in the face of this because we're consuming fuel. And what strikes me as odd, if that we were immortal and the second law of thermodynamics wasn't in play in the Garden of Eden before the flood, before the universe fell, into the state it is in now, why Adam and Eve would have even felt the need to eat. If the second law of thermodynamics wasn't in play, there would have been no need to consume fuel. This makes no sense to me. But basically, I hope this has answered a lot of your questions. If you disagree with me, feel free to post. I don't mind that. In fact, I'd prefer video post, but if you can't do that, that's fine. Remember again, I will not ever censor any of your posts, even video posts I won't even look at. They automatically come up. Anyway, this has been Stone Dog, and I hope somebody learned a little bit.